Mirror, mirror on the wall, just who is the biggest far top red of them all? I've got a few candidates in mind. The international break is consigned to the reject bin, like the raggadolls. I've been looking forward to this fixture for a long time now. On Sunday, we go to the shithole that is, and always will be, St James's Park to face Newcastle. Why, aye man. On Sunday, 4:30 kick-off in front of the Sky cameras. Rashford hat-trick incoming in front of the Gallagate. Wouldn't that be something to savour? Before we go balls deep into the preview, I want to talk about the potential ownership battle to try and take over from the Glazers, to outwit them. Radcliffe has put in his second bid, and so have Qatar. Okay? If somebody asked me, and I had to choose between keeping the Glazers or bringing in Qatar, I would vote and answer the same reply. I'd rather keep the Glazers. You won't hear that on a far top red channel. There's probably a good reason for that. And so Bobby Charlton once said about Mourinho, I don't want his sort around here. And I'm going to pinch his line and I'm going to use it for the Qatarians. I don't want them sort of people associated with my football club. And I'll tell you why. Did you know that it was an underestimate? 6,000 slaves died building those stadiums in Qatar. You really want those sort of people owning Man United Football Club? My moral compass is intact. Is yours? And in Iran, did she, women, like in the other Qatar and Saudi Arabia, women are not even treated like second class citizens. And they cut their hair in protest against the regime. And in Qatar, there was Miss Croatia, and there was delegates sitting and watching her come down the stairs with her bits out. The men don't want their women to dress froggively. They want women to cover up. Is that the sort of people you want associated with Man United Football Club? We don't need a bloody sugar daddy. I don't want Man United Football Club spending blood money. They spring a leak in their own country. They can't be trusted. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. Killing journalists is an Olympic sport to them. They can't get enough of it in their native countries. Being gay is outlawed. If you go there and they find out you're gay, your life is over, because it's against their religion being gay. Is that the sort of people you want associated with Man United? Not Tonya or Nelly. I'm Team Radcliffe. Bring me Radcliffe. And also, I think that the ones who do want Qatar, 3 reasons for that. 1, their mates on YouTube are the same, so they've got to follow the herd. They don't want to rock the boat. I'm not here to make friends, actually. I'm just here to do what I can, basically. Second of all, because they think they can get freebies. And third and foremost, because they're sponsored by, wait for it ladies and gentlemen, Boohoo Man. And I'm hearing you go, what's Boohoo Man got to do with it? Well, I tell you, shall I? It promotes slavery. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And I know that some YouTubers are sponsored by them. And there was a segment, a hidden camera back in 2022, where it's shown the sweatshops, I think they're called, where slaves are making the close. And that is immoral. It really is. To treat people like that, and they don't get much pay either. So if you decide to be sponsored by Boohoo Man, you're promoting slavery. So don't come at me or anyone else for that matter, because I know what you're going to say, because I want Radcliffe over Qatar. Because I've just listed the reasons why Qatar is not for Man United. So there you go. So Radcliffe, bring me Radcliffe, okay? That's who I want to take over. I'm not a flip-flop, I'm not a hypocrite. You know, so don't, Newcastle fans, don't fucking tar me with the far top reds. I'm not a bloody hypocrite. I don't want Saudi ownership. I don't want those going to tar Saudi Arabia, Iran, did he, did she. I don't. Because I've got a moral compass. And I know what's what. And I don't play it to the gallery. I don't, you know, I go against the grain. You know, I don't agree for agreement's sake. Because what's the point? There wouldn't be any. So I've put what I think clear. And I think the international break did come in the right time. Eriksen, I think, could be in contention. Rashford obviously didn't go on England duty. He didn't go. He went globe-trotting to America instead. Yeah, what a great way, Rashford, eh? I mean, you could have been like the Scadapo, you know, and went there without anybody picturing you. I mean, that's so stupid from Rashford. I mean, what's he playing at? I mean, now your England place could be in jeopardy after that. You made a fool of yourself, basically. And the team I'm going to pick for the Newcastle game: De Gea in goal, right back Delo, left back Malacia, centre backs Varane, Martinez, midfield three McTominay, Sabitzer, Bruno, up front Martial, Rashford, Martial on one wing, Alisson on another, and Sancho through the middle. Let's go all out, attack, attack, attack. Hit Newcastle where it hurts. And I'm going for a 3-0 victory. Rashford hat-trick incoming in front of the Gallagate. Now, I kind of have a side-appealing knowledge of Newcastle. I've watched a lot of their games this season. Notably because I don't want them to get top 4. If Newcastle beat us, which won't happen, but God forbid, then we're not going to finish top 4. If we beat Newcastle, we'll finish top 4. If we draw against Newcastle, it's a 50-50 split whether we will or not. Now, the PGMO come out and apologised to Wolves because Nick Pope should have been sent off for the second time this season because it was a clear-cut penalty and a denying of a goal-scoring opportunity. Newcastle are so fucking lucky. They really irritate me. They're so jammy, aren't they? Jammy bastards. Every single time you think they're going to drop points and then they come out smelling the roses. And I know this will come out as a little bit melodramatic about so what, but when Newcastle beat Forest, I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't. I was going over and over in my head, how the hell did Newcastle win that fucking game? Why was Quixote putting his hands in the air like he just doesn't care? You know, I thought Forest were going to get a point out of them, but then Newcastle go and get 0-3. Absolutely scandalous. I couldn't believe it. Really irritating. Now, people are raving about, oh, Eddie Howe and Alan Pardew. I think there's not much difference between what Alan Pardew did and what Eddie Howe's doing. The only difference is that Eddie Howe has got a nation backing him, whilst Alan Pardew had Mike Ashley as his boss. And I've checked the 2011-2012 final league table, and Newcastle accumulated in Alan Pardew 65 points. So if you did beat us, which you won't, you'll need 15 points more to equal his tally. And I'm telling you now, you will not equal and you will not go above Alan Pardew's tally for the 2011-2012 season. I don't see any difference between Alan Pardew and Eddie Howe. I think what Alan Pardew did is better than Eddie Howe, because he didn't have ownership backing him, and he, unlike Eddie Howe, hovering around the top 4 spaces. So it's no different between the two managers. Ironically, the last manager who was British to actually win a trophy was Steve McLaren, who obviously didn't manage Newcastle for a short amount of time. And don't also forget that Alan Pardew's 5th place finish is the highest you've finished since Sir Bobby Robson finished 3rd and got your Champions League football once again. Short memories. I mean, Rafa, all he got you up to was 10th. Alan Pardew did a better job than both the managers combined. So there you go. I don't rate Eddie Howe. He's a bang average manager. I wouldn't take him at Man United. I don't rate the guy at all. You know, it's just terrible. You know, I don't like Newcastle in many ways. In particular, their fans are getting so cocky and gobbing off. One channel in particular, by the way. And you know what? I'm very good at knowing whether someone's related or not. And I'm pretty sure on one of the Newcastle channels, the guy on the top right, I'm sure he's the brother of a female Man United fan who goes on a Man United YouTube channel. I'm sure those two are brother and sister. I think they come from the same area. Definitely something in the face there. Definitely siblings. Yeah, definitely. But Newcastle are stepping on our toes. They're the new kids on the block. We have to make sure we don't get beat by them. We have to win the game. I want us to win the game. It's very important we win the game. You know, Newcastle are not a threat to anybody. They claim that they're a big club. They're not. You're just a one city. You know, last time you actually won a trophy was when Stan and Hilda Ogden discovered colour television for the first time. You won a trophy in 1969, and your last trophy domestically was, I think, in the 50s. So basically, you're on level pegging with Spurs. That sums you all up, doesn't it? So yeah, that's what I think. I think Newcastle, you know, they've got Isaac, you know, the Swedish international. They've got Joe Willock. And you know what's ironic? Is that the majority of the squad that Newcastle have got Steve Bruce signings. Yeah, I think it's about what? In a couple of starting 11s, I think 6 Steve Bruce signings started out of the 11. But Steve Bruce did a bad job though, didn't he? Not quite sure that's true, is it, Newcastle fans? You were lucky to have him, by the way. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you after the win against Newcastle on Sunday.